Siberia heat almost impossible without climate change. Heat wave roasting Siberia 600 times more likely now. Let's not forget actually that in 20 years scientists claim that the Arctic will be ice free. And of course there are many companies that are happy about that because that'll make it much more easier for them to extract oil and gas from that area. But this is what's happening now. Not only in Siberia, we even have extreme heat hitting the northern Europe and the UK. Now, Siberia's heat and forest fires, recent heat waves in Siberia. Just this is today's article on phys.org by Patrick Gailey. The recent heat wave in Siberia that saw temperature records tumble as the region sweltered in 38 Celsius highs was almost impossible without the influence of climate change, man-made climate changes. The international team of researchers found that the record-breaking warm period was more than 2 degrees Celsius hotter than it would have been if humans had not warmed the planet through decades of greenhouse gas emissions. And 38 Celsius in Siberia, I mean, that's more than what you have in the Mediterranean area today. I mean, that's how hot it is there. It's just extremely unreal. The 5 hottest years in history have occurred in the last 5 years. I'm stuttering because I'm now thinking of Death Valley. 134 degrees Fahrenheit records. That'll be hitting because they have a heat dome over that area. And it's not only in the Death Valley area of California, it's going to be sweeping across the south and central U.S., and that is the hottest recorded temperature on Earth in Death Valley, California. So that's not just Siberia we're talking about, we're also talking about other areas of the world. So the 5 hottest years in history occurred in the last 5 years, and there's a better than even chance that this year will be the hottest ever recorded. Earth's poles are warming faster than the rest of the planet. Temperatures in Siberia, which is home to much of the world's carbon-rich permafrost, were more than 5 degrees Celsius hotter than average. They were hotter than average between January and June of this year. One town called Verkhoyansk recorded a temperature of 38 degrees Celsius, smashing all previous records. Andrew Chavarella, Senior Detection and Attribution Scientist at Britain's Met Office, the Weather Office, described the findings as being staggering. He said this is further evidence of the extreme temperatures we can expect to see more frequently around the world and in a warming climate. The impact of climate change on extreme weather events such as superstorms and droughts is now well established, but until fairly recently scientists have been unable to definitely link the individual event to global warming, but now it's been done as part of a growing area of climate research known as attribution science. The team can run computer simulations of temperatures in the climate as it is today, around 1 centimeter hotter than the pre-industrial era baseline. They compared this to model generation temperatures over Siberia this year without human influence, that is, without the additional man-made 1 degree Celsius. They found that the prolonged heat would happen less than once every 80,000 years without human-induced climate change. And this makes a heat wave almost impossible in a climate that had not been warmed by greenhouse gas emissions. That's what the team explained, adding that carbon pollution made the extreme event at least 600 times more likely to occur. So this is important for everyone worldwide. The team behind the calculation stressed that the Siberian heat wave was a problem for the entire Earth. Some 1.15 million hectares of forest going up in flames released more than tons of CO2 into the atmosphere. At the same time, the wildfires and sustained heat waves accelerated the region's permafrost melt, of course. I was just looking at one of the weird things that take place in Siberia, the fact that it's riddled with anthrax. Now, what happens when all of this melts and all of this goes up in smoke? What happens to the anthrax? Is that going to be those anthrax spores? Are they going to be carried away in various clouds all over the area? Because, we have all these pyrocumulus clouds. The fires make their own weather. And these clouds can transmit ash and whatever else they carry with them. anywhere else around the world. But anyway, the anthrax is there. Now, we have the wildfires sustaining heat waves accelerating the region's permafrost melt. This caused an oil tank built on frozen soil to collapse in May, leading to one of the region's worst ever oil spills because of the fact that the permafrost was not able to hold up the foundations of the oil tank. Now, Olga Zolina from Russia's PP Shirsov Institute of Oceanography says such a prolonged heat wave is important not only for its influence on people, but also from a scientific point of view. The Arctic is very, very important generally for forming of weather and circulation. So such high temperatures are really important for the whole globe. While the research was compiled rapidly, has not yet been subjected to peer review, authors said it produced among the strongest results of any attribution study conducted to date. In 2015, Paris Climate Deal commits nations to capping temperature rise to well below 2 degrees Celsius, that is 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit, above pre-industrial levels, and to strive for a 1.5 Celsius limit, if at all possible. With just 1 Celsius of warming so far, Earth is already buffeted by record-breaking droughts, wildfires, superstorms, and made more potential by rising sea levels. To keep in line with the 1.5 Celsius target, the United Nations says global emissions must fall by 7.6% every year this decade. Sonia Seravirante from ETH Zurich Department of Environmental Science said the research showed the heat wave was an example of extreme events which could have almost no chance of happening without man-made emissions. So this is from phys.org and Gizmodo from Australia, but obviously we have to go into clean energy technology. We know we have that. We know we have earth energy. We know that Tesla tried to make that available for all humankind. There were those that said if you can't put a meter on it, it's not going to go out to be used by humanity. So you can understand what's going on here. So please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.